I was getting ready for school. I must have been like grade 1 or grade 2. And we had a clock on the wall. And I remember looking at the clock, and it was 20 past 7 in the morning. And I was putting on my socks. And I had showered and everything. And I looked at the clock and I said, "Oh my goodness, um, I'm already done. And it's so early. Like I have some time. Normally it's 7:45, 7:50. You fumbling, putting on your shoes, you're being shouted at, get done." So I'm like, that's quite cool. So I put the one sock on, grab my other sock, and I go to put it on, and I don't know, like, I don't even know what happens, but I hear like shouting from inside, like, "Mikey, get done. You're going to be late." And I'm like, "What?" And so I'm like, "Oh yeah, my sock." Like I'm literally just like with my sock in my hand like that. And I go to put it on. And as I put it on, I look up. Dude, it's like, I want to say 13 minutes to 8.
Jeez.
And I'm
Well,
like, "What?" And I put on my shoes and I'm like, and I run outside. And I'm in class and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, like, I can't stop thinking about it. I said, it was 20 past 7. Like, what happened to the time? And
okay.
for years, I thought about that, dude. And I was like, I just went to put on my other sock. Like, how can that even be possible? Like, where did I go? Like, what happened?
Yeah.
And from that moment,
You have a
there was
school book?
something. I imagined it. But from that moment, I remembered something. This, like, it was a way of being. Um, and it was kind of, the best way I can describe it is to have like um, a soft gaze, like defocused vision. So, like, you're kind of looking at nothing.
Yeah.
You're kind of like seeing everything. Um, and there's this weird spot while you're doing that it's this beautiful space to just, it feels so freeing. It's in that place. And unfortunately, I started doing that in class. And I got labeled a daydreamer and, got like complaints to my parents. "Oh, he's a good kid, but boy, can that one daydream." And I realized, like, oh, I can't even do this.
Yeah, you're not allowed to do this.
Like, you're not allowed to do this. Like, but I had so much joy just in that little
This is phased
space.
out.
Yeah, just like the amount of like joy and stuff I felt was amazing. And now in this day and age, I'm like, with all the things I know these days, what, like, how do I know that? Like, how do I know, how did I just come with that? Because I can guarantee you there's so many people who don't even know what I'm even talking about,
Michaelon.
right?
Michaelon.
No, but then people will say, like, people will talk about like meditation and stuff, and they have all these techniques and all. And I'm like, no, you just,
It's
like,
true.
that's why like Sadhguru was like the funniest, where he's like, "I don't understand these people. They talk about meditation for 3 hours. I just sit like this for 2 minutes and I'm good to go." He's like, he reaches samadhi like in 2 minutes. And I was like, that's what I'm talking about. It's not a thing where you're sitting for hours like that. You just
Like trying to get
go.
there, just relax. Just relax and go
You
nowhere.
go into that state, dude, within 2 minutes, and it lasts for hours. You just blissed out completely. Um,
True.
I remember a friend of mine attacked me. No, bro, but I can't be blissed out all day. I got stuff to do, like attacking me, dude.
I can't be blissed out all day.
And I thought about what he said, and I was like, oh my gosh, because you know it's the identity, it's this hustle culture, it's beast mode, you know.
But think about what would happen when you're. And then I want to us to wrap this up, but like, from my personal experience, I've seen what happens when you're in a blissed out state and you're going around to accomplish a list of objectives in town, right? Meetings, go to site, back to another meeting, right? Petitioning or applying for this. Yeah, dude, if you're in that blissed out state, things open up, you know, like for just a practical example, you just don't have that rush or desperation. So you walk into the meeting or into this office. It's basically a cold call. They've never seen you've never seen them, and you're just like, I'd like to speak to the director, and they're like, oh, okay. And then now you're there with this nice lady, and just like, oh, and how are you really, you know? And you're really interested, and they can really pick up on it. And then they're talking about how they studied in France for a bit, and now they're back here, you know. Like, oh, is that what you're into? Oh my goodness, that's amazing, right? It's just like a very
Dude, you
jovial.
completely brighten the day.
Yeah, and
Completely.
the just the information, like the willingness to participate and just help you along your journey, right? I don't usually do this, you know. You're actually
Yeah.
supposed
I'll
to.
make an exception for
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
You
Like,
know, you like
so it definitely, but I get it. Like, you know, some people just can't let go. They, what do you mean it's gonna take care of itself? I have to hold it, I have to manage it, I have to look up its, you know, DNA structure and just like squeeze it through. But you could probably get faster if you just had that more bliss.
because the problem is that, and I don't know where this idea came from, dude. I think it actually came from people who were trying to dismiss that type of lifestyle by saying, "Oh, you're going to become lazy," and it's the opposite. You're so energized, dude.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, of
you
course.
can do so much more because you have so much more brain capacity
But also it
because you're
drives
not
you to
fighting yourself.
it also drives you to know what's actually important, right? Because people fill up. If you watch lots of people, um, they're doing a lot. Touch, like there's a lot of movement, but what are you actually doing? A lot of these trips that you're making, they're not necessary. Out of like this list of 10, 12
Yeah.
places that you had to
Yeah, dude.
drive to, actually four will do it, right? And then one final trip where you just pick up everything on one go. And then you've accomplished everything by lunchtime versus, you know, busy, even when it comes to like cleaning a house or something, right? Touch here, touch there, and suddenly you're over here, just moving around a lot. Just start in one place, move through, you know, slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And then 1 hour, hour and a half, you're done. And you're like, wow, this place is spick and span. Um, yeah, just basically when you have that calm, then you realize what's important and what's not so important as well. And that's
It's
not laziness. That's actually just efficacy, efficiency.
and what it what you're basically saying is that no, I don't want to do what you are telling me to do.
Mm.
So call me lazy if you want to call me lazy. But I'm not going to be in a call center and work there as a battery in a system. I want to do something creative. I want to create something. And when I lock into that, I lock into that. I like that's where my determination comes from. That perseverance to push through, the creative ideas that flow. That's the type of planning going into something I want to create. I don't have time for this other stuff, you know. And then as soon as you say that, it's like, they look at you weird. And that's obviously the moment they start praying for your downfall, right? You know. Uh, but all the people, all the founders, they've all went through the same process, you know. Sometimes they were a little bit older, they had to go through certain things. Uh, but at the end of the day, they have that story to be able to say, you know what, people said I wasn't able to do this, you know, because, they were going through it themselves. I think of my friend, dude. I remember the look in his face. And I mean, we were even at a restaurant. Like the table was full of people. And I had my first sort of viral video at the time. And that's it. There's a whole other process that was behind that as well that actually worked. 2 weeks, 2 weeks before that moment, I was going through like the full process. Because someone like our friend from England was visiting, and so I knew I had 2 weeks, and it just so happened on that day that I got the viral. It's just too beautiful, dude. If you want to really talk about like manifestation, even like the person I saw in my mind who wasn't connected to the friend visiting at all was somehow there. That was like the first sign. I was like, oh my gosh, I saw this guy. And he was one of the people that I was in my vision, essentially, was I was showing him the thing. And then I didn't even know that my video had picked up like that. I was just showing him on my phone, that guy, what I've been doing, and I was showing him all my videos, and I was showing him how I edit my videos and stuff. And out of nowhere, the second video, because I had posted one that day, um, had hit tens of thousands of views. And I was like, oh my. He was like, bro, like, he pointed it out. And it was the exact thing, the feeling and everything that I was seeing for the last 2 weeks before that.
Mm.
But anyway, so I was on like a big high just from that moment. And dude, people was telling me that. They were saying, hey, there's something about you. You seem like you figured something out. I remember the one chick said that. You seem like you figured it out.